Yeah, thanks for joining us, taking some time out of your day. Going to hang out and play some Grounded while we continue to raise money for the International Rescue Committee to help children and families displaced during the Ukraine crisis. How long have you now been with Undead Labs?
Um, Officially, this is my second year. We're closing in on 2 years as a full-time employee. And before that, I was contracted with them in through various channels for about a year. And then before that, I was actually working on State of Decay 2 for a year via Xbox Studios Central.
So you've
I've
almost been working on it for the 4 years.
Yeah, the whole 4 years I've been involved with State of Decay. I actually started on the game about a month before its official release. So yeah, I'm now actually over 4 years of working on State of Decay 2, which is nothing in comparison to like others. But I started out as a customer advocate, and just recently made the transition into game design.
Base is huge.
It's a really nice base. I can't take credit for it, but it's a nice welcoming base. Wow, holy! I've not seen it from the outside yet.
That is a lot of ant heads.
I was just telling Eric yesterday that when I have the bravery to kill a spider at home, I usually leave it there to send a message to other spiders, and my wife kind of gets mad at all the spider bodies on the walls. So are you a big builder in survival games, or are you more like me, like a roving marauder, where you're just living off the land and surviving as best you can?
I'm not really much of a builder except in a certain game that I won't name right now. But I guess I could. I built in Valheim a lot. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we love that.
But I dropped like, I don't know, 1,400 hours in that game.
Wow. I just love it's just got a great style to it. And
Yeah.
I did like to dig holes. We did some team play days together, and Valheim came up, and I was just digging holes with my pickaxe, and then some people would sometimes fall in them and die. It was
Right.
A good time for all.
Obsidian and Undead Labs are sister studios. Do you guys ever work with each other? Yeah, we do a lot of collaboration on going on each other's streams in that regards.
Who knows
Um,
what the future holds?
And I'm pretty sure that on the development side we've done some stuff.
Oh, nice.
We've done some collaboration as well, looking at different tools together and the whatnot.
Yeah.
Collaboration's
We'll
kind
go
of
into
really
details,
kind of super important
Yeah.
if you want to get better at stuff. And so like having open communication between the studios really helps a lot. And Microsoft, I don't know how much I should say here, but like Microsoft does these things where like, in fact, we had one for the community group. They'll do these things where like people who work in different places who have similar jobs, they get together. Summits, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summits are
We'll get
awesome.
together like every year for a summit, and make connections with people who do the same kind of job, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now they get mad.
Oh, Jim
thank you,
donated
Jim.
$10. Thanks, Jim. You want a bug or a jelly bean? Gonna go with a grasshopper, Jim, real quick. Sorry while I do this, guys. Make some of these.
Make sure you get the crunch, because that's
The crunch, you want me to really get it in the lab there?
Get really into it.
All right, I'll get one of the big boys.
No, crickets are crunchable.
These are crickets, right?
Those are grasshoppers. Yeah.
That's the same thing.
I mean, a little bigger, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to pay for the crunch, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
But the cricket noises are much more cute.
The cricket noises are forever.
All right, Jim. Thank you for helping support the IRC and everybody dealing with the Ukraine crisis. Here we go. So dry. What's the coolest thing that you've gotten to work on or design that is currently in State of Decay 2 right now?
Probably the solution to we had a long-standing problem where one of our achievements, you had to pretty much like get it randomly, which means that you had to like play Heartland over and over and over again until you got the right amount of weaponry. Um, I was able to make it so that players could get that 100% of the time the first time.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a what it ended up being is hello? Okay. What it ended up being is a scavenger hunt through the thing.
Okay.
Nice.
And so it was like not only like a unique solution, but then also kind of like a bug fix as well, right? Like
Right.
just to make sure that, or the flow of the game feels good. That's cool.
Let me ask you, Joe. It seems like we're both of our teams are super awesome at hearing out the community and gathering suggestions. What's your suggestion process, or how do you gather that info from the community?
We actually just use we use our support site, one of the community functions there, and we just gather sort of suggestions from the community. People vote on them, and then the devs kind of take a look at we take a look at what's there and what seems good and also what seems good for the game, and then we decide from that point whether or not we're going to continue trying to implement it, because it gets pretty like some people really want like some interesting things,
Definitely familiar with that.
Yeah, like everybody wants a new map, but that's just like that's you might as well be making a whole new game.
Yeah,
that's gonna take several months to a year at least, at minimum, and it doesn't. It's not a short process.
So when you got into games, did you always want to like aspire to get into design? Because I believe you started with you had a background in teaching and working with at-risk youth, but then also doing testing first, I believe, and QA.
Yeah. So when I switched careers at the ripe old age of
No, I think that's good because it's never too late to switch careers.
Because folks out there might need some inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can change career at any point. That's basically kind of what I have found out. But yeah, no, I quit teaching at 37 and got into games. But really, I've always wanted to be a game developer. From the time that I was young, like my friends and I, we were designing games and doing stuff together. In fact, that was the first thing I went to college for, but things happen.
I'll try this charcoal canteen.
But when I first got in, I was doing sort of what they call compliance testing for the first release of the original Xbox One. And so all that was making sure that, like, if the game crashed or anything like that it wasn't the Xbox's fault, or that they didn't try to blame Xbox for the crash or whatever. Anyway, it's super important to the publishing side to have that kind of testing.
Is that like the testing? Were you doing like the testing like when things are being certified?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was doing the compliance side of that, which was to make sure that like all of the text was there, that people who were submitting to Xbox One weren't giving us PlayStation controller kind of artwork, which actually that did happen sometimes.
Okay. Somebody just sent the wrong.
Companies would send their game and they would have like PlayStation controller mapping pictures for the Xbox version, and it's just like, oh, you've got to go back to the drawing board. So that was always fun. But after that job, I actually I got a job doing QA on Shadow of Mordor.
Oh,
nice. Love
that must have been interesting to QA on, just for the Nemesis system alone.
Yeah. And in fact, I was the one that wrote most of our test passes and test cases for the Nemesis system. So I was not only like testing it, but I was I worked for Warner. I was doing contract work for Warner Brothers at that point, and so yeah, I got to be in the middle of the most important part. And then I was in mobile gaming for a while, and then I switched over to Xbox.
Oh, you're not wearing armor, Joe?
No, I've got a hat.
He's going for fashion.
He can still wear armor with that. We could bump it.
I want to wear a hat.
You want to wear a hat?
You're good.
Yeah, it's all about the fashion in games now, Carrie.
Right?
If I'm not looking good when I'm out there, I'm not doing it right. So, Joe, do you think, since you've worked so closely with the player base and the community, that because of that you have some insight into some different ideas or things you'd like to do in design that maybe the other developers weren't aware of?
I wouldn't say that they're not aware of, but it certainly, in terms of like how people use our game already, I think I've got a little bit of a head start on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say it's pretty valuable. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like if I wasn't as adept at State of Decay 2 as I am, yeah.
Wait, you
I
have to
don't
be
know.
good at the game you work on? Eric, I
Yeah.
think we're
Oh,
in
no,
trouble.
no.
Yeah, like, don't say that.
No
We-
one has to be good at the game and they work on. We're terrible.
Well, no one has to be. And
Here, I got
that's-
an
that's
axe.
the
Let's build a
point,
little bit
right?
of
Like, it's more
some
about
defense.
the art that you can put in or the code that you can
Mhm.
bring up. But I don't know. What's kept me around for 4 years is knowing the game really, really well. And so when people are like, "Here's this thing," like for instance, the update that will be shipping, we call it Forever Communities. That started with an idea where I was just like looking at some of the design that had taken place around it. And I was like, what you got here for your legacy pool is basically a garbage can. And that's not a nice thing to say, but sometimes you got to say not nice things in order to get nice things.
It's true. I bet I know the answer to this, and it's going to be disappointing, but... Well, maybe not. You're kind of a roving marauder like me when I play this. But in your game, you probably are using your storage and stuff pretty wisely, right?
What do you mean wisely?
Like, you don't just take all your loot and throw it on the ground when you get home?
Oh, no. No.
You're a box buddy then. We have there's two types of players in Grounded. Well, I mean, there's more than that, but
Uh-oh.
yeah, we're about to be dead.
Uh-oh.
There's box buddies who like to use all of the storage, and everything's got to be in its proper place, and it takes a lot of time, and it's really drawn out. Or you can be a pile pal where you come home and just dump all your stuff on the ground and get back to adventuring.
No, see, I actually appreciate some of the things. Now, I don't know if this is like I just ran into a bug and I'm about to tell you something that you didn't know before. But the most recent update, I noticed that if I leave these things just laying on the ground too long, they just kind of disappear.
Yes, they do eventually, yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't like things disappearing after I've collected them.
That's fair.
And,
That's just a pile pal nerf. Yeah. They nerfed us pile pals, but they can't stop us in spirit. Yeah, it's just
Well-
this we've created
I mean, it was also to help our console players, because if you just leave a bunch of stuff on the floor,
yeah,
there'd be a
it
lot of
definitely
performance issues.
and if anything, you could say pile pals helped, test and optimize the game by pushing it to its limits. So, I mean, that's more than a box buddy's ever done.
that seems like a really generous way to look at
I
pile
feel,
pals.
I feel like that's a lie, because there's only like 2 pile pals in the world, so
There's at least 6 in here right now.
I only count 1 in this room. Who are the other 5 other people? It's just you and me.
True. I like piles.
I feel like this is a learning stream, and
I feel like this
a lot of
became
feelings
just
are coming out.
we're getting to some core issues,
Some core issues.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
well, we're
the core issue is how to be a better friend in a survival game.
Man, I gotta have you on all the streams. Joe.
Oh,
This is
come
amazing.
on. I mean, I already get in trouble for making puns on the stream. That goes on my, review.
No, see, there's nothing wrong with puns.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
Puns are fine.
Yeah.
Puns are great.
Well, sometimes they are. It depends if Mikey's here or not. See, look, I'm contributing. I made piles of grass and it helped build this.
I too am contributing. I've been picking up your piles of grass and making sure they go where they're wanted.
Joe, what is what's one of the things that your community has wanted so much that finally got added to the game?
Well, they got a new map.
Oh, they got the map.
Yeah, so when we did the Return to Trumbull Valley,
Mm-hmm.
they got their new map, and they got to return to Trumbull. So they got pretty much everything they wanted.
Nice.
Nice. Always
Um,
a win.
And including like even our next few updates, like one of them is one that wasn't asked for, but one of them is one that's been there for a really, really long time. We've got mites inside the building.
Yeah, I see that. I didn't even know that mites were part of this raid.
Yeah, they're a little sneaky.
I'll stand and do mite patrol.
That might be wise. You're welcome.
Thank you. You'll be here all day?
I'll be here until you tell me to leave.
Is there like a genre of game that interests you that you would like to kind of make or work on?
Well, I think just given like what our studio is good at, I feel like
We did
some
it.
kind of like stealth action game would work really well for us. What I really appreciate, we've been able to do the same thing on State of Decay 2. You keep adding updates and so on, but I really appreciate just the whole Game Pass model, right?
Mhm.
So like you pay for, as a player, you just pay for your monthly subscription, but it keeps all of these studios going, right?
Mhm.
And that income gets spread out to us as people play the game or whatever. And so, being part of that family and being part of that means something. And so, one, thank you for just having me on stream.
Oh no,
This
thank
is
you for
super
joining us.
awesome. But it's really nice that being part of the Xbox family and being able to support each other and play each other's games. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, they're up from us.
No, you said out here,
Ah,
but I'm in Seattle, man.
true. Boom. 3 weevils. Let the harvesting begin. Oh yeah, no, it sounds like fun.
So I found a couple.
All
I
right.
was trying to figure out which one was the lesser of two weevils.
I like that.
This is good, man. If Mikey
Did
was
Did you
here
hear
right
Mikey?
now-
I just heard him. Thanks everybody that donated and hung out. And we here at Obsidian will be back next Wednesday for another Casually Grounded. And we'll see you then. Thanks everybody and have a great day. Goodbye.
See you, everyone.